Being good is something we all strive for, but have you ever stopped to think about what it really costs? I mean, think about it. Being a good friend, a good partner, a good person, it all requires something from us. Whether it's our time, our energy, or even our finances, being good isn't always easy or cheap. But what if the true price is far more sinister than a few sacrifices? What if your very goodness is the very chain that keeps you from the life you are meant to live? Imagine the most decent, kind-hearted person you know. Now, ask yourself an uncomfortable question. Are they also the most powerful, the most influential, the most free? Or have they, in their unwavering commitment to being good, quietly surrendered their ambition, their boundaries, and their sovereignty? This is the unsettling paradox at the heart of a 500-year-old secret, one that was never meant for public eyes. We've been taught that virtue is its own reward, a noble path that leads to respect and a peaceful life. But history whispers a different story. It's a story written by the wicked who shaped empires, while the good often watched from the sidelines, their hands clean, but their legacy faint. This isn't about condoning evil. It's about confronting a terrifying possibility, that our cultural script for goodness is a rigged game, a system designed not for your fulfillment, but for your compliance. You feel the tension, don't you? The quiet resentment when you're taken for granted, the hollow victory of being called nice while being passed over for what you truly deserve. This feeling is the crack where the hidden truth begins to seep in. And it's a truth that a notorious Florentine philosopher understood in his bones, a truth so volatile his name itself became a synonym for devilry. He saw the mechanism of power with terrifying clarity, and he revealed that the first victim of uncompromising goodness is never the villain. It is you. This is the hidden problem. You are trapped in a war between two worlds. The first is the world you see, the one of social contracts, where kindness is reciprocated and fairness is expected. But beneath it lies the true, raw world of human nature, a realm not of morals, but of wills. This is the chasm that thinkers like Carl Jung warned of, where our polished persona clashes with the unacknowledged shadow self. Your conscious mind strives for saintly virtue, but your unconscious instincts, for power, for recognition, for dominance, do not simply vanish. They are repressed and they fester. Friedrich Nietzsche called this the core of slave morality, a system where the weak labeled their own inability to act as goodness, a brilliant, insidious psychological coup that transformed their weakness into a virtue and the strength of others into a sin. You have been conditioned to believe that the ruthless pursuit of your own desires is evil. But what if this conditioning is the cage itself? Society cannot function on pure, untamed individualism, so it must preach self-sacrifice. It must convince you that your deepest, most primal drive, the will to power, as Nietzsche named it, is something to be ashamed of. You are taught to amputate this part of yourself, to see the lion within as a monster. But the lion does not die. It only starves, leaving you with a persistent, gnawing sense of inauthenticity, a feeling that you are playing a role written for you by others. This is the psychological root of your cost. Your goodness is not a pure expression of your will. It is often a performance, a defense mechanism against the terrifying responsibility of claiming what you truly want. And this internal civil war has devastating, real-world consequences that are silently shaping your reality at this very moment. The consequence of this internal war is a silent psychic tax levied on every aspect of your existence. In your personal life, your uncompromising goodness is not seen as strength, but as an absence of boundaries, an invitation for others to project their needs onto your blank canvas. Your generosity becomes expected, your time treated as a common resource, your ambition sidelined as selfish. This isn't a moral failing of others. It's a predictable response to the signals you emit. Cognitive biases like the doormat effect ensure that those who never push back are inevitably walked upon. Your brain, conditioned to seek the dopamine hit of social approval, prioritizes the avoidance of conflict over the pursuit of authentic connection, leaving you surrounded yet profoundly alone. On a societal scale, this conditioning becomes a tool of immense control. The cultural machinery glorifies the self-sacrificing hero not to elevate them, but to keep the masses manageable. It is far easier to govern a population that polices its own desires, that believes ambition is a sin and contentment in mediocrity is a virtue. This is the ultimate unseen trap, a system that pathologizes your power while systematically rewarding you for your compliance. You are paid in the cheap currency of praise, while the real treasures, influence, autonomy, and true self-respect are forfeited. Your potential is slowly eroded, not in a dramatic collapse, but in 1,000 small surrenders. You become a ghost in your own life, haunted by the person you could have been. But this is not the end of the story. What if you could stop being a ghost and start being the architect? The rebellion begins not with a sword, but with a single, heretical thought. What if you could reclaim the lion without becoming a monster? This is not about swapping saintly passivity for cartoonish villainy. It is about integration. To break free is to perform the most radical act of self-honesty, to acknowledge the shadow self that Jung identified, not as an enemy to be destroyed, but as a source of untapped power. It means ending the civil war within. Look at the historical figures who truly shaped destinies, from the cunning diplomacy of Queen Elizabeth I to the strategic resolve of Abraham Lincoln. They were not purely good men or women. They were effective individuals who understood that virtue without power is theater, and power without a moral compass is tyranny. Their genius lay in the synthesis. Your liberation starts with a mindset shift. Stop seeing your life as a plea for acceptance and start treating it as a sovereign domain. This is your principality. Your time, your energy, your focus. These are your resources to be guarded and deployed strategically, not given away freely to every petitioner. This is the core of the Machiavellian insight. The prince must be a fox to recognize the snares, and a lion to frighten the wolves. For you, this means developing the fox's cunning to see the hidden games of social dynamics, and the lion's courage to enforce boundaries that command respect, not just affection. It is a deliberate, conscious reclamation of your own will. You are not being asked to become cruel, but to become complete. And in that completion lies the final, most shocking revelation about the nature of goodness itself. So we arrive at the ultimate, liberating paradox. The shocking cost of goodness was never about the sacrifices you made, but about the power you surrendered in the belief that you were unworthy of it. The final truth is this: true goodness is not weakness sanctified. It is strength compassionately applied. Machiavelli's hidden lesson isn't that you must be evil to succeed, but that you must be effective to do any real good in the world. A powerless saint can offer prayers. A powerful one can build hospitals. The lion and the fox within you are not enemies of your morality. They are its essential protectors. Without them, your goodness is a plea. With them, it becomes a decree. This redefines everything. The goal is not to abandon virtue, but to forge a virtue that is dynamic, resilient, and potent, a virtue that can withstand the realities of human nature without shattering. Your kindness must have a backbone. Your generosity must have boundaries. Your love must not be a chain that binds you, but a force that empowers you. This is the paradigm shift. To see that the highest form of goodness is not self-annihilation, but self-mastery. It is the integration of your capacity for both compassion and strength, realizing that one without the other is an incomplete half, a ghost of your potential. You are not here to be a harmless angel. You are here to be a benevolent force of nature. So look inward at that conflicted heart and see not a flaw, but the raw material for a more complete human being. The world does not need more nice people. It needs more integrated souls, powerful enough to actually build a better world. So, what do you think? Have you ever had to make a tough choice between being good and doing what's easy? Share your stories in the comments below. If you're interested in more content like this, check out my video on ethical dilemmas and how to navigate them.